Still on illegal mining, poisoned food, poisoned water, and a poisoned air. That's what Ghanaians are gleefully consuming as the ravages of illegal mining destroys not just lands and vegetation cover, but now human lives. The latest evidence of the full extent of harmful activities of illegal mining is causing has been captured in a mercury and other heavy metals impacts assessment report. The report, which spans August 2024 to September of this year, has revealed alarming levels of mercury concentration along with lead and other harmful chemicals. My colleague Martin is on the magic wall with a breakdown of some of the findings, and this is certainly alarming.
Very alarming and quite shocking. In fact, when the report came out, bits and pieces, people started asking questions. Does that mean that the food you're going to buy from the market tomorrow and going forward, is it safe? Can you consume it? But let's look at the details of what exactly was captured in the report. And this was actually conducted by the Environmental Protection, the EPA, and also Pure Earth. Now, they decided to go to a number of regions and then test both the soil, the air, and water, and they've come out with some really shocking revelations. So we'll take you through them briefly. In specific areas around the Ashanti region, they went to some communities. One of them also, we'll mention the location and then what exactly was tested. We'll look at what components were found, what bad components were found in either water, soil, or food item, the concentration level, what the threshold should be, the acceptable level, and then the excess that they found in these research that they did. So they started from Konongo Zongo, which is in the Ashanti region. They tested the soil there. What they found in it was mercury, and they found that instead of the soil having a minimum of 10 parts per million, that's a ppm, 10 parts per million in the soil, they found in excess of 1,342 parts per million. That is 13,000% and more of mercury in soils in and around the Konongo area. Konongo, Dumase, same thing. They tested the soil. They realized that instead of the 10 ppm, they found 909 ppm. We have over 9,000% of mercury, a very dangerous substance in the soil that was tested. Then Esiakwa, this time the eastern region, they tested the water there. Water was polluted with mercury, and instead of 0.001 milligrams per liter, they got 0.01 milligrams per liter, and that's about 900%. So that, again, tells you the concentration of mercury in the water in and around the eastern region. Wasa Kenyako, western region, they went to Konongo Zongo, Akwaboso, and then pumpkin leaves was what they've tested in the western north area. Now, in various places, they tested the air, they tested fish. From Konongo Zongo, for instance, they tried the fish as well. They realized that the fish had lead in it, and this is what was expected, 0.3 milligrams per kilogram. They had between 1.7 to 2.8 milligrams per kilogram, excess of about 800% plus of lead in the fish that was found in Konongo Zongo. They bought a number of food items in Western North. They tested it and realized that there was lead in some of the food items that they purchased. And specifically within vegetables, we are told that you can get about just 0.1 milligrams per kilogram of lead in it. That is scientifically accepted. However, they found about 3.1 milligrams per kilogram in some of the food items they've tested in the Western North region, excess of about 3,000 plus, and when you come to the areas in and around the Ankobra River, specifically Nyamibechere, they tested the water there and saw that arsenic, another very dangerous substance, was in the water. The allowable threshold should be just about 0.01 milligrams per liter, but they got 3.30 milligrams per liter, about 32,000 plus excess of arsenic in the water that the people are drinking. So it tells you that the conversation about galamsey and its impact is very, very real to many people. And so they found generally that mercury was high in soils at Konongo-Zongo and Odumasi, dangerously high in the air at Wasa Kenyaku, water exceedance up to about 900%. For lead, it was widespread in areas around Esiakwa, up to about 9,600% above limit, and food crops, pumpkin leaves, for instance, they had in excess of 3,000 plus. Arsenic, clearly around Konongo-Zongo, again, they realized that water bodies there, fish and other food items were also heavily contaminated. So it raises the concern about how quickly we need to put measures in place to curb, slow this. Otherwise, the next food you probably may be buying in the market may be contaminated without your knowledge.
Exactly, Martin. And how would you know if the consumer you are buying or the cassava you are buying is laden with arsenic or mercury? More questions than answers.
Absolutely.
And you can't sit on concerns about illegal mining. Yeah.